with Joe Torre flanked by Bob Schaefer and Don Mattingly, and Randy Wolf ready to go to work. Randy also, in looking at his pitch count, has made 100 pitches twice, each time 103 against Colorado, and last time out with San Diego. His victory was in Arizona, and his loss was in San Diego. So Randy would like to win one for the home folks. He's a Valley boy. CRISTIAN GUZMAN will start it off. He had 2 doubles and a single last night, scored twice, but he also made 2 errors. A very good hitter, busting out at .397 for the last 2 weeks. Into the windup goes Wolf, and his first pitch is swung on, fouled away, and the count 0-1. So GUZMAN, young fella out of Santo Domingo, originally signed by the Yankees. Can you imagine? He was 16 years old. He had only completed the 7th grade in grammar school, didn't speak English, and he signs a contract to go to America. He fists one foul down the right field line back into the crowd, and the count 0-2. Well, we thought it was pretty warm last night. It's almost as warm right now. It is 80 degrees at the start of the game. Last night it was actually 84. So GUZMAN, Johnson, and Zimmerman facing the left-hander Randy Wolf. Randy, both feet on the rubber, looks down to get a sign from Russell Martin. Outfield fanned out straight away, and GUZMAN takes low at his feet, and 1 ball, 2 strike count. Dodgers begin the night 6.5 games in front of San Francisco. Giants will be here tomorrow night. Chad Billingsley and Barry Zito. Saturday afternoon, Eric Stultz and Jonathan Sanchez. Sunday, Jeff Weaver and Tim Lincecum. And the pitch inside, 2 balls and 2 strikes to CRISTIAN GUZMAN. GUZMAN, as a teenager, worked on a farm with his father, picking papayas, yucca, tomatoes. He rode a horse to get around. 2-2 pitch on the way, swung on, a little pop fly at first base. Retreating under it is Loney, and puts it away. So 1 down. We'll take a look at the Dodgers with the leather. The outfield of Pierre, Kemp, and Ethier. The infield of Blake and FURCAL, Hudson and Loney, and the battery of Wolf and Martin. And of course, for the Dodgers, accepting the challenge, they're a very, very good team with Manny, and we'll see how they react without him. Here is Nick Johnson, a left-hand hitting first baseman, and a good one, hitting .319. 2 home runs, 8 runs batted in, and he takes a strike. Johnson is the nephew of Larry Boa. Nick's grandfather, Paul Boa, was Larry's dad, and Nick's mom is Larry's older sister. Strike 1 pitch on the way. Johnson takes low, 1 ball and 1 strike. He's a lot bigger than Larry Boa. Nick is 6'3", 225 pounds. Larry Boa is this big. The 1-1 pitch on the way. Big breaking ball that stays up. Ball 2, 2-1. And we'll repeat that number. Left-hand batters against Randy Wolf are hitting .148. So it's a big challenge for Nick Johnson. Nick said he never saw Larry play, but he did see him on videotapes. He takes a good breaking ball for a strike, and the count 2 balls and 2 strikes. And for Nick, well, once upon a time, 19 years ago, he was a bat boy for the Phillies, and he also watched the Phillies-Giants game on the bench as the bat boy. He swings, fouls it away. 2-2 the count to Nick Johnson. Signed by the Yankees in 1996, and he actually came up to the Yankees 0-1, 2, and 3. Hit .194, .243, and then his last year with the Yankees, he hit .284. He was just starting to hit. Here's the 2-2 pitch on the way, and Nick swings, fouls it back. Nick was a very good student in high school. He had a 3.5 grade average. His dad was a correction officer in a very tough prison. His father finally retired from that work. 2-2 the count. Wolf turns on the rubber. Randy Weddian comes back 2-2, and that's waved at and missed in the dirt. And pinned with the tag is Martin as he puts it on him. and down goes Johnson. So Randy Wolf picks up a K. Johnson, the long walk, empty-handed back to the dugout. For Randy Wolf, 32 strikeouts and 12 walks. Not quite 3-1, but he's gaining. And now here is Ryan Zimmerman, who is certainly the face of the Washington Nationals. Ryan with a 24-game hitting streak, and during that streak, hitting .353. Right-hand batter has a look at a slow freight, and that's in for a strike. And the count 0-1. That curveball, when Randy breaks it off, it's in the mid-60s. That one was 65. So there are two Zimmerman, Jordan and Ryan, and they're both in the starting lineup tonight. Strike one pitch on the way. Fastball swung on and missed. 0-2. Pretty nice to be able to do that with the same delivery. Spin a 65-mile-an-hour curveball and come right back with a fastball at 90. Ryan Zimmerman, in his rookie year, let everybody know he was going to be here to stay. Strike two pitch to the right-hand batter. A check swing, and the pitch is high. 1-2. He became only the third National League rookie in 53 years to have 100 or more RBIs. He had 110. Mike Piazza had 112. Albert Pujols broke in with 130. The 1-2 pitch on the way is taken just inside. Angel Campos, the plate umpire, with Brian Runge, Bill Miller, and Darrell Cousins working the lines. So Zimmerman, who comes from an athletic area in Virginia Beach, Allen Iverson, Alonzo Mourning, Michael and Marcus Vick, David Wright, and the pitch is swung on and foul back. Fastball alley, and that fastball was 93. Also, one of the two brothers just left here, Justin Upton, along with B.J. Upton. They were also in that same area where Ryan Zimmerman grew up, in Sandbridge, the area in Virginia Beach. The 2-2 pitch coming up. Randy Wolf delivers, and that's probably whacked into center for a base hit. So Ryan Zimmerman has now hit safely in 25 straight. Remarkable. That is Major League Baseball's first 25-game streak since Ian Kinsler last year, middle of June to the middle of July, had a 25-gamer. The last National League player to hit in 25 straight, Moises Alou, when he was with the Mets back in 07. The longest hitting streak in D.C. baseball history, a Hall of Famer by the name of Heine Manush, back in 1933, hit in 33 straight. So now here's double fours. Big guy, Adam Dunn, with a runner at first and 2 out. Adam takes low and inside. Nice save by Russell Martin. Adam Dunn commands great respect, not only his size, but he has a lot of sock. He had 4 years in a row where he hit over 40. He is 6'6", and they say 275, and yet he's agile enough to play the outfield. The 1-0 pitch on the way, check swing on a breaking ball, and that's fouled away. And the count 1-1 strike. Light breeze, barely rippling the flags in center from right to left. Beautiful time, sunset time. But of course, we pray that the winds they're talking about will not come up in Santa Barbara. I was hearing today that they're expecting winds up to 65 miles an hour. Throw to first, and Zimmerman back on the bag. Ryan Zimmerman does not do any running. Adam Dunn with his 26 walks at the plate. 2 down, first inning, no score. Talking about hitting 40 or more 4 straight years, Babe Ruth is the only one to do it, and he did it 7 straight years. Another throw to first, and Zimmerman back on the bag. So Adam Dunn, he'll be 30 years old in November. Originally signed by the Reds, a number 2 pick, and he spent quite a while with the Reds from 01 through 08. Now the 1-1 pitch, and that's a trifle high. Ball 2, 2-1. For Adam Dunn, his father was his Little League coach, and he said it was his dad who taught him how to be a good hitter. And as a quarterback, he was outstanding. Threw for over 3,500 yards and 31 touchdowns in 2 years. He takes a strike, and the count now 2 balls and 2 strikes. In fact, when he signed with the Reds, he was still playing football. So he played with a minor league team. Then he'd go to the University of Texas football camp. And eventually the decision was made for him by the arrival of a couple of fine quarterbacks by the name of Major Applewhite and then the heavily recruited Chris Sims. So Adams took one look at those two and decided, I think I'll become a baseball player, and here he is. But like Kirk Gibson, he has the football mentality. 2-2 the count to big Adam Dunn. Wolf ready, here he comes, and Dunn is done as he swings and misses. 2 strikeouts for Randy Wolf, a man left, and at the end of half an inning, no score. Randy Wolf strikes out 2, gives up a base hit and nothing else. We'll take a look now at the Dodger lineup, and they read this way. RAFAEL FURCAL, Orlando Hudson, and Andre Ethier. James Loney hits cleanup. Russell Martin back of him, and then Matt Kemp. Casey Blake, Randy Wolf batting 8th, and on the mound, while batting 9th, is the left fielder Juan Pierre. Out on the mound for Washington, Jordan Zimmerman out of Auburndale, Wisconsin. 6'2", 205-pounder, and they tell us he is the real deal. He was a number 2 pick. He went to Wisconsin Stevens Point University. He was an all-around athlete. He was a wonderful wide receiver. In fact, in one game, he set a record 11 catches, 304 yards. His first pitch to RAFAEL FURCAL is in for a strike. Jordan Zimmerman, 6'2", 205-pounder, 22 years old. FURCAL on the move, trying to slap at the ball and missed it. Last night, he had that running bunt, hit it to the left of the mound and legged it out for a base hit. RAFAEL last night had 3 hits. Batting .264, full swing and a miss, and he takes a walk. So FURCAL strikes out, 1 away, and that's what they say about George Zimmerman. He throws hard. He just hit 95 with that fastball. Of course, last year, just like the Dodgers talked about James McDonald, Zimmerman was the Nationals' minor league pitcher of the year. A lot of things going on here tonight on this date. And as Orlando Hudson checks in, you remember that exciting day when he hit for the cycle. Well, today is the anniversary of Wes Parker's cycle. Here's the first pitch to Orlando, and that's a little high, ball 1. May the 7th, 1970. Parker, the first LA Dodger to hit for the cycle. He did it against the New York Mets. The 1-0 pitch on the way, fouled off to the left, out of play. So it was a long time, and Orlando finally did it here. Hudson batting .342, He has 3 home runs, 17 runs batted in, and he's been absolutely dazzling with his new club. He was always dazzling with Arizona. He takes a pitch high, 2 balls and 1 strike. For Orlando, he has a modest hitting streak. It doesn't compare to Ryan Zimmerman. Zimmerman has hit in 25 straight. Hudson has hit in 8 straight. On deck, Andre Ethier. Back comes Jordan, and his fastball is on the outside corner for a strike. And again, he's at 95. That's a 4-seam fastball. He also has a curve, slider, and a changeup. He comes back in the dirt, and he goes all the way 3-2 with an 80-mile-an-hour breaking ball. What kind of a kid is he? Well, in February of 2007, he was still pitching in college, and he was pitching with a broken jaw and pulled wisdom teeth. 3-2 pitch on the way. Fastball high, and Hudson draws the walk. Not only did he have the broken jaw and pulled wisdom teeth, what happened, he was pitching batting practice, and he had his mouth wired shut with 11 screws. So by the time the wires and the rubber bands were removed from his jaw and mouth, he had lost 15 pounds. So he's tough. And the first game he ever pitched for Washington, he had to wait something like 2 hours and 20 minutes, ice cold rain. He went out bare-armed and did pretty well. Andre Ethier hitting in the number 3 slot, of course normally occupied by Ramirez. Andre hitting .317, half a dozen home runs, 27 runs batted in. Hudson at first, 1 out, first inning, no score. Zimmerman out of his set, up around the collarbone, comes back to Andre and gets it in there, and a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Washington will move on. They're heading for Arizona. Dodgers will dig in for the arrival of the Giants. Manny Acta taking in the ball game as the skipper as Ethier fouls one away. We were talking about Acta last night. He was the only kid in the neighborhood with a catcher's mitt, so he organized all the games. So even at 8, he was showing some managerial sense, but he wanted to go in the NBA. And his father said to him, "You're 6'2". You're a dwarf. You're not going to play in the NBA." Here's the 1-2 pitch coming up to Andre Ethier. Fastball flared into left center. That's going to drop for a base hit. Hudson rounding, hesitates, and goes to third. So Andre Ethier drops a fly ball single into left center. I'm not sure on that hesitation whether Orlando hurt himself or not, but Larry Boa is over there talking to him. Looks like Hudson's right leg, something happened. He rounded second, there it is, jammed on and then kept going. And when he got to third, he was hurting. And Larry Boa talking to him even now. So Ethier, a fly ball single. Dodgers at first and third with 1 out. You know the Dodger pattern, it's been remarkable. They scored in the first inning last night. They've scored 28 runs in the first inning during this run. So here is Loney with 1 out and a chance to pick up at least 1 run. And James takes at the knuckles. Ball 1. 1-0 the count. So the Dodgers trying to get on the board yet again. Trying to get the jump and the drop on the opposition. Dodgers with their 7-game winning streak and 13-0 at home. The 1-0 pitch on the way. Loney holds up, and that's low and inside. Ball 2, 2-0. So young Jordan Zimmerman in a little bit of a battle here. A walk to Hudson. Fly ball single to Ethier. And Loney with the count his way. 2 balls and no strikes. Hudson at third. Off the bag at first is Ethier. Loney fouls it away. Off to the left, out of play. And a 2-1 count. Among other things, the Dodgers doing great hitting, but the pitching has been superb. At home, the Dodger pitching staff is a little less than 2.5 for an ERA, with Stultz and Kershaw and the rest of the boys doing an outstanding job. 2-1 pitch, and Loney whacks it foul down the right field line back into the lower deck, and the count 2 balls and 2 strikes. So in the inning, FURCAL struck out. Hudson drew a walk. Ethier singled to left center field with Hudson taking third, and Loney with Martin on deck. Ethier held on by Nick Johnson, and young Zimmerman out of a stretch and then backs off the rubber. 2-2 the count to James Loney. Loney hitting .276 with 20 runs batted in. Swings and hits one up the middle into center for a base hit. Here comes Hudson to score, and the Dodgers have done it again, scoring in the first inning. 29 runs in the first inning throughout the stretch. So much to the delight of the crowd, a 1-out walk, back-to-back singles by Ethier and Loney. 2 on, 1 out, and Russell Martin coming up. Big spinning breaking ball, and Loney just stayed on it, went down to get it, and single to center. The 21 RBIs for James. Ethier holding at second. And for Manny Acta, a tough way to start the night on a ball club that has been struggling and has only won 7 games. Well, watching Hudson, he looks to be okay as he goes back and puts his helmet in the rack. So Russell Martin hitting .242 with 13 runs batted in, trying to keep it going. And on deck is Matt Kemp. The Martin with 2 on, having a good homestand, hitting .333. The Russell waiting. Zimmerman checks the runners. Fastball down and away. Nice save by Flores. 1 ball and no strike. Martin has been very busy. He's been on base 9 of his last 16 trips to the plate. 7 hits and a couple of walks. He had a double last night, which was rare. He had gone 8 straight without an extra base hit. The 1-0 pitch, check swing, and the pitch is high. 2 balls and no strikes. Dodgers have never seen Jordan Zimmerman before, so this is the first time at his tender age. He's 22. He'll be 23 the end of the month. They figure to see a lot of him over the years. 2-0 pitch, a fastball inside, ball 3. So Zimmerman in trouble. Manny Acta has to stand there and take it. Once upon a time, a 17-year-old shortstop for Houston. 3-0 the count. Now Zimmerman delivers, and it's inside, and the bases are loaded. So Randy St. Clair going out to the mound. The Dodgers during the homestand have scored, counting 10 runs last night. They've scored 88 runs during this stand. They're averaging almost 7 runs a game. They're hitting better than .320 at home, and they've hit 15 home runs. So everything they have done during this homestand has been unbelievable, really. So now they have Washington on the ropes here in the first inning, and Matt Kemp will be coming up with the bases loaded. Matt has 2 grand slams, both of them against Colorado, and both of them here. Mark Redman and Matt Belisle. So with 2 slams, he comes up there with standing room only. 1-0 Dodgers first inning. Zimmerman out of a stretch. Kemp hitting .275, takes a strike, and the count 0-1. Matt has been struggling. This has not been a happy homestand for him. He's hit just .154. He has 2 hits in his last 22 at-bats. That covers 6 games. And for 2 weeks, he's been hitting a $1.50. He swings, and it's a towering fly ball to right center field. That goes good to the wall. It's a grand slam home run. And the Dodgers pick up 4 more and lead 5-0. Hits his grand slam, the 3rd of his career. Boy, that pitch belled high right out over the plate. And he's strong enough to go the other way. Elijah Dukes climbing the wall, but only to take a look at it. So Randy Wolf now is leading 5-0 in the first inning. The Dodgers are just knocking the league lopsided. They have scored 33 runs in the first inning. And Matt Kemp drives it out. So that'll put a smile on a face that has been a little down of late as Casey Blake takes a strike. So the Dodgers brand Washington with a high five, and Matt Kemp all smiles walking the length of the dugout. The next pitch to Casey Blake is down and away. 2 balls and 1 strike. So the Dodgers explode here in the first inning and lead 5-0. Jordan Zimmerman's next pitch in there for a strike, and the count 2-2. So like so many young pitchers, sometimes Jordan looks good, sometimes he looks his age. And the 2-2 pitch, Casey takes way off the plate. Nice save by Flores. 3-2 the count. For Zimmerman, that would be the 5th home run that he's allowed in 17 innings. 3-2 pitch, fastball lifted to right center field and deep. Back goes Dukes, this time on the track, and it drops between Dukes and Dunn. Blake goes into second. He's on his way to third. The throw to third, he is in there. Normally, on a ball in the gap, the center fielder is the captain. The outfield belongs to him. I don't know whether Elijah Dukes looked at that big 6'6" Adam Dunn and said to himself, anything you want, big boy, but the ball landed between them, and Dukes could have caught it easily, but so could have Dunn, and they looked at each other. The old Alphonse, and well, there you go. So it will go as a fly ball triple. With 1 out, Jordan Zimmerman has made 30 pitches, and the Dodgers lead 5-0, and there's a little pop foul off first down the line and drops untouched. The Randy Wolf hitting 8th in the lineup, checking the handle of the bat. So Casey Blake, a gap triple. Alphonse and Gaston, they used to call it in the old days. This time it was Elijah and Adam. Sounds almost biblical. Dodgers 5, Nationals 0. The strike 1 pitch is driven in the air to center. Dukes for the catch, tagging up as Blake. Strong throw to the plate. He just got in there. Whoa, what a great throw by Elijah Dukes. So Casey Blake got in there with hardly anything to spare. And the Dodgers now turn a 5 into a 6. Strong throw from Elijah right on the money, and the sweep tag by Flores a little late. So Randy Wolf joins in the fun with a scoring fly ball. Here we are in the first inning, and the Dodgers have 6, and the batter now is Juan Pierre, and he takes a strike. 0-1. Juan, limited play, of course, hitting .355, so he's done well. Zimmerman, who is laboring, gets a comebacker, handles it, fires to first, and that's that. But that, in capital letters, a big 6 for the Dodgers. And at the end of an inning, thanks to a slam by Matt Kemp, 6-0 Dodgers. The Dodgers lead Washington 6-0 as we go to the second inning. Jordan Zimmerman somewhat in shock, sitting back in the Nationals dugout. And the first pitch to the center fielder, Elijah, is swung on and missed 0-1. Duke's hitting .298, 4 home runs, 18 runs batted in. They say he's a 5-tool player, and we certainly have seen his throwing arm. Last night he was 0 for 3 with a walk. Randy comes back 0-1, and that's in the air to right, but Andre Ethier backs up a little bit and puts it away. And we have one down here in the second inning. Well, one thing about the Dodgers, they are not suffering from triskaidekaphobia. If you were with us last night, we talked about that multisyllabic word. Triskaidekaphobia is the fear of the number 13. Well, there's nothing to be feared when you've won 13 in a row and you score 6 in the first inning. So the batter now is Willingham, hitting .135. Josh hadn't played much. Right-hand batter, and takes a strike, and the count 0-1. Josh Willingham out of Florence, Alabama, with the Marlins for quite a while. He was drafted out of the University of Northern Alabama. The strike one pitch on the way, and Josh a check swing, and he takes on the inside corner. And we got 2 signs from Angel Campos. First, he raised his left hand, pointing at the hitter. Then he raised his right hand. So the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Randy Wolf back, and the pitch, a broken bat ground ball. We had a bunch of them last night. McCall throws out Willingham, and we have 2 down here in the second inning. For the Washington Nationals, they are on the road. They're down 6-0 with 1 out in the second inning. Their record on the road, 2 wins and 11 losses. Have a nice trip, huh? It must be tough enough to be struggling. At home, they're 2 games under .500. Of course, as Julian Tavares and other veterans on the ball club have been through the mill. And the batter is Jesus Flores, hitting .291. Fastball is hit in the air back at first. Loney going down the line. Tough play. Tries to make an over-the-shoulder catch, and it lands as a fair ball. And Flores gets himself a fluky single to right field. So Jesus will take it, just like Casey Blake will take that gifted triple. And the batter will be Anderson Hernandez. Little pop fly. Loney trying to make it, but he was in an awkward position, reaching out with the gloved hand as he went down on his right knee, but it landed just inside the chalk. So James going back to his position, 2 down, second inning. Dodgers lead 6-0, and Anderson Hernandez out of Santo Domingo, home of so many Dominican players in the big leagues. He's 5'9", 170, and originally signed with the Tigers 8 years ago. He takes a strike, and the count 0-1. The Mets got him, and the Mets had him in 05 and 06. He went down to the minors, came back in 07, and he's been with the Nationals since last year. Strike one pitch in the dirt, blocked nicely by Russell Martin, and a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Looking at Hernandez's numbers, hitting .302. Last year in 81 at bats, he hit .333. The 1-1 pitch is swung on and fouled off. 1-2 the count. 2 years ago, the Mets named him their minor league player of the year. So much can happen to a young player heading up in the organization of one club. But then the Nationals sent Luis Ayala, a right-hand pitcher, to the Mets, and they picked up Hernandez. The next one to him is a little high. Hernandez, a switch hitter, and Randy pitching to him, hitting right-handed. Hernandez hitting over 300, 308 right and 300 left. The 2-2 pitch coming up with 2 out. Randy Wolf straight change, and that's just off the plate. Ball 3. His straight change 77. That's slow curveball. He's had it at 65. 3-2 the count, so Flores will be going with 2 out. Randy looks over, Wolf to the plate, and it's fouled away. Dodgers 6 runs on 4 hits in the first inning. They had Hudson walk, Ethier singled, Loney singled to cash in Hudson. Martin walked to load the bases. Kemp hit a grand slam home run, the 3rd of his career. Blake hit a fly ball in the gap. Dunn looked at Dukes. Dukes looked at Dunn, and the ball dropped for a triple. And Randy Wolf joined the fun with a scoring fly ball. 3-2 fastball is low. Ball 4. So the Nationals with runners at first and second and 2 out. And Jordan Zimmerman coming up.
Pitcher number 27.
I was thinking
Jordan
earlier
Zimmerman.
with Jordan Zimmerman giving up 6 runs in the first inning, and we showed you a picture of Manny Acta 2 years ago to show you how a manager can spend a lot of sleepless nights, and Acta certainly would fall into that category. The pitch to Zimmerman, that's low, ball 1. In 2007, Manny Acta made 558 pitching changes. 558. That's Jim Riggleman alongside of him. But Jordan survived the first inning. 1 ball and no strikes. Randy Wolf comes back and works that in there. And the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Dodgers 6, Nationals nothing. Top of the second inning. Wolf lifetime against Washington 9-4. Here's the 1-1 pitch on the way. Big curveball, pulled foul outside of third. That was that 65-mile-an-hour curveball. Maybe not a very good pitch to give to a pitcher unless he's an outstanding hitter. Though Randy tried it and Jordan was on it but pulled it too much. 1-2 the count. Wolf out of his stretch, checks the runners. 1-2 pitch on the way is foul back. So Jordan Zimmerman up there hacking away. He is 0 for 6. He has a sacrifice, and he has struck out 3 of the 6 at bats. 1-2 to Jordan Zimmerman. Randy Wolf with 2 on and 2 out leans in to get a sign, and the 1-2 pitch coming up, and that's a fastball fouled away. So Zimmerman hanging tough and making Randy Wolf work. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Wolf with Flores at second and Hernandez at first. 6-0 Dodgers, second inning. Now Wolf straightens up, set at the belt. 1-2 pitch, breaking ball down at the feet of Anderson, and the count 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Zimmerman trying to keep the inning alive. CRISTIAN GUZMAN, a very good hitter, is on deck. Wolf again checking. Zimmerman waits. The 2-2 pitch on the way is a fastball, strike 3 call. 3rd strikeout for Randy Wolf. No runs a hit and 2 left for Washington. And at the end of an inning and a half, Dodgers 6, Nationals nothing. A really young man wearing, and it's awfully hot, but he's wearing what they call a toboggan, a knitted hat, a watch cap if you were in the Navy. Boy, it's a hot night for that. He seemed oblivious to it all, taking in all the excitement in the ballpark, which reminds us to remind you, hope you make your plans to come to Dodger Stadium this weekend, and please do us a favor, bring the kids. RAFAEL FURCAL struck out in the first inning after getting 3 hits last night, batting .261. Jordan Zimmerman gets a fastball in there for a strike, and the count 0-1. When you look back at the Dodgers from August 21st last year, the record at home is truly remarkable as FURCAL swings and misses. The Dodgers since August 21st have won 23 of 26 at home. Now the strike 2 pitch, low, ball 1. 1-2 the count. Some of the members of the 1959 championship club here tonight to be honored as FURCAL looks and strikes out again. So Zimmerman has 2 strikeouts each time. RAFAEL FURCAL. The members of the club who are available to come: Roger Craig, Tommy Davis, Don Demeter, Fred Kipp, Wally Moon, Joe Pignatano, Norm Sherry, and widow of Norm Larker, Walter Olson's grandson Rob Ogle, Roy Campanella, and Joni Campanella Rowan. There was the son of Pee Wee Reese, that would be Mark Reese, who wore his dad's game glove out on the field. The widow of catcher Johnny Roseborough, Barbara Roseborough. Susie Wallace, the daughter of Larry Sherry. If you ever read about the 59 ball club, Larry Sherry had an unbelievable World Series against the White Sox. Hudson takes a strike. So it was wonderful to see some of him, and the memories come flooding back. Strike 2 pitch on the way. Hudson chops it up along third. Ryan Zimmerman on the dead run throws him out. Fine play. I think most people in the league figure that the day will come Ryan Zimmerman will get himself a Gold Glove. He can handle it. You know, you can purchase any field level ticket for Saturday, pay $45 and enjoy some of the best seats at Dodger Stadium. Save up to 65%. Watch the Giants and the Dodgers. All you do is visit Dodgers.com/eSavers, enter promo code Russell55. 2 down, second inning, 6-0 Dodgers. Andre Ethier a strike. Ethier, a little fly ball single to left center, and that really got the inning going. Dodgers going on to score 6. Strike 1 pitch, Andre fouls it off. Ethier batting .324. 2 out, bases empty, second inning. Dodgers again scoring in the first inning. Now the strike 2 pitch in the dirt. 1-2 the count. By the way, when the Dodgers score in the first inning, they are very, very difficult to catch. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Andre, and that's high. Scoring in the first inning, the Dodger record 14-1. Now the 2-2 pitch fouled away, trickling to the far end of the Washington dugout. 2 balls and 2 strikes. If you were watching the game last night, left-hander Mike Hinckley was brought in to turn FURCAL around. Well, he didn't pitch well, and he was sent out. The 2-2 pitch, Ethier, it's a line drive backhanded by Ryan Zimmerman to take a hit away. So the ball players say it evens out. Andre got a fly ball single, then he hits it on the button and lines out. It's still 6-0 Dodgers. Top of the third inning, Dodgers 6, Nationals nothing. And Randy Wolf ready to go to work now. Second time around the lineup. The leadoff man Guzman, then Johnson and Ryan Zimmerman. And CRISTIAN shows bunt, takes low, ball one. 1-0 the count to CRISTIAN GUZMAN. Big fella, fine hitter, batting .391. And fouls a pitch away. Guzman in August of last year hit for the cycle, and he did it against the Dodgers, and he came up with the triple against a pitcher who is now his teammate. That would be the former Dodger Joe Beimel. The 1-1 pitch on the way, and Guzman hacks it to shortstop. Nice hop for FURCAL. It guns him down easily. One away. And the batter now will be Nick Johnson. The Guzman, big man, goes back to the dugout. Nick Johnson checking in. Struck out in the first inning. The left-hand hitters, Johnson and Dunn, each struck out. No surprise, because we told you left-hand hitters were hitting 148 against Randy Wolf. So Adams sitting in the dugout watching as Johnson takes a strike. And the count 0-1. Nick batting .316. 2 home runs, 8 runs batted in. Now the strike one pitch on the way. Swung on and missed. Boy, he wound up. 0-2 the count. Johnson in the minor leagues was famous for being hit by pitches. He's only been hit twice so far this year. Randy has not hit a batter, and he works it away in a 1-ball 2-strike count. In the Eastern League, Nick was hit 37 times because he had pretty much of a closed stance, and he would step into the pitch. He's opened that stance up, I think, for self-preservation. He swings, doesn't get it. So Johnson strikes out twice tonight, went down once last night. And with 2 out in the third, here comes Ryan Zimmerman. 4 strikeouts for Randy Wolf. Ryan Zimmerman single to center in the first inning, the proud possessor of a 25-game hitting streak. What a brilliant young player. And of course, Ryan Zimmerman is going to be with the ball club for a long time. He takes low, ball one. He's only 24. He'll be 25 the very end of September. We mentioned it last night. He grew up in a hurry, he and his brother. 1-0 pitch on the way. His mom, Cheryl, a victim of multiple sclerosis. She'd been in a wheelchair, so he and his brother had to do a lot of the chores around the house. As he said, I really became a man very quickly. 1-1 pitch. Swung on, fouled away, 1-2. Ryan made some history. That would be in '05. He was the first-year player draft, and he became the Washington Nationals' inaugural first pick. He was picked behind Justin Upton, Alex Gordon, and Jeff Clement. 1-2. Here comes Randy, comes back 1-2, high and away, and a 2-ball 2-strike count. In January this year, the Nationals avoided arbitration, and they signed Ryan Zimmerman. You have a 5-year deal. 2-2 pitch outside. So he will certainly be with the Nationals through 2012, and he'll still be under 30. Doesn't pull the ball a lot. He basically stays in the middle, and that's exactly what he did in the first inning, a single to center. Wolf delivers, and that one is popped up near the mound. Randy gets out of the way. Loney is calling for it and one-hands it just on the side of the mound. So Ryan Zimmerman pops up to James Loney. Down go the Nats, and at the end of 2.5 innings, 6-0 Dodgers.
James Loney.
Six nothing Dodgers, bottom of the third inning. After they sent 9 men to the plate in the first inning, Jordan Zimmerman settled down in the second inning. He made only 13 pitches, and he was 0-2 to all 3 hitters. So we'll see now if the young man has had his baptism of fire and turns his pitching around. James Loney will start it off, and he takes a strike outside corner, 0-1. Jordan made 34 pitches in the first inning and only 13 in the second. Strike one pitch pulled on the ground off the glove of Nick Johnson. Fires to his pitcher in time for the out. So Loney grounding out 3-1, 1 away. Russell Martin the batter. Say a reminder, tomorrow, Friday night fireworks set to the music of 1959 to help honor the Dodgers' first championship in Los Angeles. Compliments of Dreyer's Grand Ice Cream. For tickets, call 866-DODGERS or visit Dodgers.com today. Russell Martin walked in the first inning. Takes a pitch high and away, ball 1. His walk loaded the bases and allowed Matt Kemp to come up and hit the third grand slam of his career. The next one is in there. So a 1-ball, 1-strike count to Russell, batting .242. Martin has a look at another pitch in for a strike, and the count 1-2. Martin has 14 walks. He has struck out 22 times. 6-0 Dodgers. Bottom of the third. Fastball inside under the elbows. 2-2 the count. Jordan Zimmerman working the game tonight, and the 2-2 pitch on the way, grounded to short. Guzman is up with it, flips it over to first in time for the out. Guzman last night threw sidearm to first base, and most shortstops like to throw over the top, and when he throws sidearm, it's like he scales the ball and throws a natural sinker. So he threw one away. Got his arm level up a little bit more. Now Matt Kemp will be coming up with 2 down in the third inning. Matt hitting the grand slam to right center field. Elijah Dukes climbing the fence to watch it go out. And Matt takes a strike, and the count 0-1. So for Kemp, who's been hitting $1.50 for 2 weeks, that grand slam really is uplifting. He hits a hard ground ball, a diving stop by Ryan Zimmerman to throw him out. Ryan has made a couple of dandies already. And for Jordan Zimmerman, a 1-2-3 inning. And at the end of 3, 6-0 Dodgers. Taco. It'll make you fall in love with your lunch. 99 cents every day. And by Southwest Airlines, low fares with no hidden fees. Book now at Southwest.com, where what you see is what you pay. Fourth inning, Dodgers leading the Nationals 6-0. Adam Dunn, Elijah Dukes, and then Willingham and Flores. So here goes Randy Wolf. Dodgers load up the right side. Dunn a strike. Adam Dunn pays the price. 7 home runs, 26 strikeouts. Fouled away, 0-2. Dunn and Dukes, the on-deck hitter, involved in one of those "Après-vous, monsieur?" No, after you, sir. And the ball dropped for a triple for Casey Blake in the first inning. If you go down to Porter, Texas, the main thoroughfare in that little town is Dunn Lane. And there are 9 houses on that road, all 9 belonging to relatives of Adam Dunn. He eventually moved out to Montgomery, Texas. 1-2. He has a look. See you later. Adam Dunn, questioning Angel Campos, shakes his head and walks away. Of course, he has struck out as many as 195 times. That pitch debatable. He thought it was below the knees. What do you think? He's 6'6". So that would be strikeout number 5 for Randy Wolf. And the batter is Elijah Dukes. He goes first ball swinging, fly ball to Efield. So quickly, 2 out here in the 4th inning. Time now to put your thinking cap on for our Aflac trivia question. What's the longest home winning streak in Major League history? The longest home winning streak in Major League history. I will give you the answer. Josh Willingham has grounded to short, 0 for 1. Randy Wolf has retired 6 in a row. Jordan Zimmerman has retired 8 in a row, and it should be 9 in a row, except for that ball that landed between Dukes and Dunn. Check swing, 1-1 to count. Josh Willingham, former Marlin, had the nickname Hammer because he hit as many as 26 home runs for the Marlins. That's a foul ball. He hit 26 and he hit 21 his last year with the Marlins, which was last year. He hit 15. One and 2. Breaking ball, 2 balls and 2 strikes. A couple of years ago, he really feasted on left-hand pitching. Hit about 300 with 11 home runs in just 130 at-bats. Willingham, not a bad guy to have around on a ball club. He plays first base. He can play a little third base. He can also catch. And he plays the outfield, which is where he's playing tonight. 2-2. Ball 3. Randy Wolf trying to beat Washington for the 10th time in his career. Just missed outside, and that would be his second walk. So a 2-out walk to Willingham, and Jesus Flores coming up. The catcher hit that little twisting pop fly down the right field line. James Loney tried to get under it and make the catch. Went down to a knee but couldn't make the play. Jesus, regarded by the Mets as their top catcher, and the Nationals got him in the 2006 Rule 5 draft. 0-1 to count. He's from Venezuela. Idolized Ivan Rodriguez and also big Andres Galarraga. Last year he hit .256 for Washington with 8 home runs. In the dirt, 1 ball and 1 strike. For Jesus, last year he hit .308 against left-hand pitching. 1-1. He's 24. He'll be 25 the end of November. Over at first is Willingham with 2 outs. 6-0 Dodgers. We're in the 4th inning. Randy coming into the inning had made 56 pitches, so he's not worked too hard. Flores takes an off-speed pitch that misses. Ball 2. That's that 65-mile-an-hour curveball that Randy throws. Two balls and 1 strike. And a high foul down the line, out of play. A few years ago, interestingly enough, there was an exhibition game being played in RFK Stadium in Washington. Flores was the backup catcher to Mike Piazza, and it was the day before opening day. So they were going to save and rest Piazza, and Flores caught, and wouldn't you know, he was hit by a pitch, broke his thumb, and he missed about 6 weeks of the season. 2-2. And ball 3. Flores also got hurt last year. Close play at the plate. Chase Utley in a collision trying to steal home. Utley was out, and Flores went down with a severely sprained left ankle. 3-2, and it's fouled away. The Flores stayed on the ground writhing in pain for about 10 minutes. They had to get an ambulance and take him to the hospital. That's quite a position, catcher in the big leagues. Of course, he is 6'1", but he's only about 180. 3-2. And he whacks it to the gap. Kent is not going to cut it off until it's taken a bounce. They will hold Willingham at third on a long single by Flores. So with 2 out, Flores is now 2 for 2. The Nationals are at the corners, and the batter will be Anderson Hernandez as we take another look at that long single. Good play by Kemp, almost on the track, and got it back in for a single. Well, for the opposition, and we've seen it all homestand long, they have a runner at scoring position. That would be Willingham at third. During this homestand, the opponents, not only Washington, but the clubs who have come through here, that means San Diego, Arizona, they are 5 for 52. Little foul ball, 0-1. That would translate into a batting average with runners in scoring position of less than a buck. 0.96. The Dodgers 20 for 56, a .357 batting average, and 32 runs batted in. I mean, you want to talk about a one-sided set of numbers. So there's Willingham at third, Flores at first, 2 out, 0-1 the count to Hernandez. Foul the other way, 0-2. Anderson Hernandez battling Randy Wolf. Slow curveball fouled off. That one was a little faster. Normally that slow curve is 65. That one was clocked at 69. Hernandez, switch hitter, batting right-handed. Walked in the second inning. Fastball still up there, 0-2. Though Russell Martin. It's amazing how they ever catch a foul tip. No balls and 2 strikes. I mean, that's certainly something you can't practice. In and out of the mitt, then it hits him on the mask and turns it on his face. 0-2. Anderson Hernandez last year struck out 8 times in about 100 plate appearances. He's hit everything around the plate so far. He has struck out 12 times in about 75 plate appearances this year. And another foul ball. On deck is the pitcher Jordan Zimmerman. Dodgers with 6 in the first inning, lead 6-0. Zimmerman fouled off a bunch in his at bat and then struck out. 0-2 to Anderson Hernandez. He'll be 25 the end of October and fouls another one. Not a big man at all, only 5'9", about 170. Good arm for a shortstop, but he's playing second base tonight. Guzman has the job at short. Oh, how about that little shake of the legs? 0-2. Breaking ball hit right to Loney. So no runs, 1 hit and 2 left. And at the end of 3.5 innings it remains Dodgers 6, Nationals nothing. Could have been caught by Dukes and Dunn. They looked at each other. It landed between them. And Casey with a belly whopper into third. Then that brought up Randy Wolf. He had a fly ball to Dukes. Elijah made a great throw, but Casey was just under the tag. And the Dodgers added their 6th run. And Casey will start it off, followed by Wolf and then Pierre. Bottom of the 4th inning. Jordan Zimmerman has retired 8 in a row, should be 9 except for that ball that landed between Dukes and Dunn. Ball 1. Maybe buck fever in the first inning, but Jordan has certainly settled down. Good fastball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Misses with the fastball, 2-1. He's gotten his fastball up to 95. And they were saying before the ball game, he's the real deal. They are really high on Jordan Zimmerman. That's a strike. So after that good fastball, he comes back breaking ball, and he has the count 2-2. That's popped up. It will be Nick Johnson, the first baseman, calling, and makes the catch. Boy, that wasn't very easy. Remember the trivia question about a winning streak? The longest home winning streak in Major League history? Well, if you have the answer, you are quite a historian. The New York Giants, way back in 1916, won 26 straight home games. That also included a tie. Joe still has a long way to go. That's a pop fly. Backing out for it is Hernandez. Makes the catch. So quickly, 2 out here in the 4th inning. And Jordan is doing very well as Juan Pierre comes up. Just to go back, the record without a tie, the Red Sox in 1988 and the Pirates of 1978, both clubs won 24 straight home games. Dodgers have won 13 without a loss, opening up the season, trying to make it 14 tonight. Pierre hit back to the box in the 1st inning, batting 9th, playing left field. 6-0 Dodgers. Strike with the fastball. Oh, and 1. And another strike. So he is really settling down. 10 in a row, plus the ball that should have been caught. It should be 11 in a row. Fastball. Still 0-2. The team that has given Washington the worst time so far, the Florida Marlins. Foul ball. Florida Marlins have beaten Washington all 6 times this year. Atlanta's beaten Manny's club 4 out of 6. Fly ball into right center. It has a chance. It'll land in front of Adam Dunn. So Juan Pierre, a 2-out single to break the string, and that'll bring up RAFAEL FURCAL. So Pierre, who'd been fighting a cold for the last few days, that'll make him feel better. Dodgers 6 runs, 5 hits, and now RAFAEL FURCAL. Pierre certainly will give Jordan Zimmerman something to think about. Juan 1 for 1 in stolen bases. RAFAEL has struck out twice. Ball 1. Pierre leading all active players with 430 stolen bases. There he goes. Pitches inside. Fleury's throwing a hop, and Guzman couldn't handle it anyway. So Pierre is 2 for 2. Juan got a good jump, head down, straight steal, and Guzman trying to short hop it, couldn't do it. So Juan holding on for dear life. All right, Pierre at second base, 2-0 the count to RAFAEL FURCAL. And that's lifted to shallow center. Elijah Dukes coming in. And that'll be that. So no runs, a hit, a man left, and at the end of 4, Dodgers 6, Nationals nothing. Jordan Zimmerman. Matt Kemp hit a grand slam and really got the Dodgers off and running. Talking about a big inning, the Boston Red Sox had a whopper. They scored 12 runs before the first out in the 6th inning against Cleveland. That set an American League record. It tied a modern Major League Baseball record set by the Dodgers. The Dodgers did that May 24th, 1953 in the 8th inning against the Phillies. The final score, the Red Sox 13, Cleveland 3. Previous record, the Detroit Tigers way back in 1925. Dodgers one night in Ebbets Field scored 10. In the first inning. That was 1952. 2 balls and 2 strikes they count to Jordan Zimmerman. Foul ball. Zimmerman, Guzman, and Johnson, and if anybody gets aboard, another Zimmerman. Another foul ball. Do you realize, I'm sure you're not counting, the Nationals have fouled off 27 pitches in just 4 innings. Yet they've only managed 3 singles. 27 foul balls. A broken bat, soft line drive to FURCAL. And that bat shattered. There's a piece way off to the right. There's a big chunk up along third. And they take that thing back to the rack.
Shortstop, number 15, CRISTIAN GUZMAN.
That broke right at the handle. Last night, you saw one break right down the middle. Well, here's CRISTIAN GUZMAN, popped up, grounded out, 0 for 2. Slow breaking ball. Guzman hitting .386. 1 ball, no strikes. Ball 2. Fastball drilled down the left field line. Boy, Guzman can swing that bat, and he's going to head his way into second base with a double. Guzman last night had 2 doubles and a single, and now doubles with 1 out in the 5th. He is really an impressive hitter. You don't see him very much, but look at that bat speed. He was all over that thing. So Guzman at second. He's had 8 at-bats, including 3 doubles and a single in this little series. And now Nick Johnson trying to do something. He struck out twice. He's 0 for 6 in the series, striking out 3 of the 6 and a strike. And Nick's a good hitter. He came in here and he's hitting .313. But boy, a left-hand hitter against Randy Wolf is sure an underdog. One ball and 1 strike. I'm sure Nick would like to do something for his uncle Larry Boa in the series. This time just a fly ball to Juan Pierre. Going back is Guzman, but just to draw a throw. And now Ryan Zimmerman coming up. Ryan has made 2 very nice defensive plays. He's going to make a bunch of them before he's finished. With Andre Ethier up line drive, and he stabbed that one. And going wide to his left, then scrambles to his feet and throws out Matt Kemp. He has also singled his first trip, though he has hit in 25 straight. As far as that lengthy hitting streak is concerned, they have broken it down as to how he has kept it alive. That's a strike, 0-1. 10 times in his streak. He had a base hit in his first plate appearance. In the 5th at bat, he has done it twice, and this time a line drive short hop by Casey Blake to nail him. So Casey turns in a fine play. Guzman's double is wasted. Zimmerman talking to Marquise Grissom, and it's 6-0 Dodgers. Dodgers leading Washington 6-0 since the first inning, and Washington is joining all of the other clubs leaving men in scoring position. They had that 1-out double by Guzman, and Johnson and Zimmerman failed to pick him up. So the opponents during this homestand, they are 5 for 54 with runners in scoring position, while the Dodgers are hitting almost 360 with 32 RBIs. What a difference. 0-2. Fouled away. Early we mentioned the fact that Randy Wolf, in his 2 hard-working games, each made 103 pitches. Well, he's already made 98 pitches in 5 innings tonight. Walked 2, striking out 5, and a lot of foul balls, which of course are all pitches. 0-2. Big long swing, and down he goes. So for Jordan Zimmerman, he's a totally different pitcher than the kid who went to the mound in the first inning. So a slider takes care of Orlando Hudson, and that'll bring up Andre Ethier. Ethier had a fly ball single in the first inning to left center. Then in the second inning hit a bullet, and it was one-handed by Ryan Zimmerman. Ground ball down to Hernandez. 2 out. So you realize what a difference. If it wasn't for Pierre's single, he would have gotten everybody since the grand slam by Matt Kemp. So James Loney coming up, singled and grounded out. Two out in the 5th, 6-0 Dodgers. Ball 1. Loney with 21 RBIs, picked one up tonight, hitting .280. And a fly ball to shallow left. Willingham coming to his right to put it away. Very easy inning again for Jordan Zimmerman. And at the end of 5, 6-0 Dodgers. in San Francisco. The Dodgers beat the Giants 2-1. Then we got on an airplane, flew down to Los Angeles, went to the Coliseum. Dodgers played the Yankees and lost 6-2, but that didn't mean anything. There were 93,103 people. Roy Campanella in a wheelchair. Pee Wee Reese pushing him out to the mound. The crowd of 93,000 lighting matches in the dark. It was like being inside a jewelry box. And, of course, Campanella getting the ovation of a lifetime. Something you never forget. And what Roy said after the game, he said, I like the crowd. It was my number backwards. He wore 39. Let's go to this one. Had him done. A fly ball to left field. Pierre's there. One away. Just to show you a picture of that night, those are the lights. There were 93,000 people. Pee Wee, who had been the captain of the Dodgers, now a coach. Johnny Padres got the toss from camp. What a night. And you can imagine sitting in the booth looking at an old friend in a wheelchair, trying to keep your own composure and describe the scene. That was some day. And you know what? Not only were there 93,000 in the Coliseum, reports in the papers the next day, there were 10,000 seats available, and they were going to go on sale at 6 p.m. the night before. That day, by 2 o'clock, they said there must have been close to 15 or 20,000 people outside the Coliseum trying to get online to buy the ticket. They never did get in. Wow. 50 years ago.
Left fielder, Josh Willingham.
Randy Wolf now with 1 out. Then he gets 2. Now working on Josh Willingham. Willingham is grounded out and walked 0 for 1. What Randy Wolf might do tonight, not only pitching a shutout, he's gotten into the 6th inning, and he might give the bullpen a rest. The bullpen has gone at least 3 1/3 innings in each of the last 3 games. Actually, they've gone 4, 4, and 3 1/3, and he's now gone up to 105 pitches. 2-1. Randy, of course, getting 6 in the first inning, had a sizable pillow to lean on. Nationals had 2 on in the second inning, had 2 on in the fourth, a man at second in the fifth. 3-1 to Willingham. Jesus Flores on deck. Three and 1. That's in there. Randy with 5 strikeouts. He has walked 2, and he has allowed 4 hits. And a drive to left down the line, hooking as she goes. Fair ball, home run. The Josh Willingham breaks the shutout, hits it just inside the foul pole, and that makes it Dodgers 6, Nationals 1. For Randy Wolf, that would be the 4th home run that he has allowed this year, and for Willingham, that would be his 2nd. So he stayed back and then let her rip. We mentioned he's the fella they call the hammer in the minor leagues. So he hits one well back, and Randy's look tells you what happened. So with 2 out, Rick Honeycutt now going out as Willingham gets 5s in the dugout. Wham bam from Alabama, Josh Willingham. Down in the Dodger bullpen now, Ramon Troncoso begins to loosen up. Not Belisario, Troncoso. That's a natural mistake. It seems like everybody's up every inning. For Randy, he's made 108 pitches. And finally gives up the run. 6 runs, 5 hits for the Dodgers, 1 run, 5 hits for the Nationals. And Jesus Flores, who is 2 for 2 and lifts a fly ball. Pierre coming over. Okay. So 1 run, 1 hit, 1 swing of the bat by Willingham. And at the end of 5.5, it remains 6-1 Dodgers. About belt high, and he hit it into the right center field bleachers for the 3rd grand slam of his career. And the Dodgers were off and running a 6-run inning, and they lead 6-1. Casey Blake also got that fly ball triple, and he scored right after the slam. Meanwhile, Jordan Zimmerman, outside of that first inning, has pitched super. But it's a case of probably too late. He's allowed just 1 hit in the next 4 innings. Frank Robinson just took a bow. One of the great players we've ever been privileged to watch play this game. There's Frank, along with Barbara, his wife. Frank played for the Dodgers in 1972. He could do it all and was probably as ferocious a base runner as ever played the game. They used to say that Frank would jump into his stirrup socks because they were pulled so taut you can almost play the banjo. But when he was going from first to second to break up a double play, it was worth your life to be anywhere near the bag. He was really something. And of course he has a connection to Washington. He managed when they were the Montreal Expos. Whoops. So Martin now gets a leadoff walk in the 6th inning. And with the Dodgers leading, Matt Kemp, grand slam, and then lost a hit on a fine play by Ryan Zimmerman. For Jordan Zimmerman, that's his 3rd walk. He walked 2 in the 1st inning, and now he gives up another in the 6th. So Kemp is 1 for 2, a slam. Right. 0-1. Matt hitting .279, 4 home runs, 21 runs batted in. Russell Martin is 2 out of 4 in stolen bases so far this young year. 0-1. And that's a strike. 0-2. down and away. 1-2 the count. 6 runs, 5 hits for the Dodgers. 1 run, 5 hits for the Nationals. Matt Kemp a grand slam. Josh Willingham a bases empty home run. Fastball fouled away. Giants will be here for the weekend. Tomorrow night should be a great battle. Chad Billingsley and Barry Zito. Then Eric Stoltz Saturday afternoon against Jonathan Sanchez. And the concluding game for the series end of the homestand, Jeff Weaver and Tim Lincecum, last year's Cy Young winner. And that's strike 3 called. So Kemp caught looking, down he goes, and the batter will be Casey Blake. 4 strikeouts for Jordan Zimmerman. Casey Blake 1 for 2 because Dunn and Dukes messed up the fly ball. Strike. 0-1, big breaking ball. For Zimmerman, this might be his last inning, maybe. He's due to bat second when the Nationals hit in the 7th. Julian Taveras down in the pen. 1-1 the count to Casey Blake. One ball, 1 strike. In there. Just thinking when the Giants come in. Last time the Dodgers played them, they were tough games. Belisario lost a 5-4 game. That was Barry Zito pitching. Ground ball by the diving Zimmerman, and down to second goes Martin. So first and second, 1 out. Blake 2 for 3. Xavier Paul, who was just called up, and a young outfielder, will be checking in and batting for Randy Wolf. Xavier Paul. Xavier Paul is out of Slidell, Louisiana. He went to Slidell High School in New Orleans. He's 23 years old, and the crowd welcomes him as he checks in to make his major league debut. Breeze blowing from right to left. Xavier is 6 feet 200-pounder. He had committed to go to Tulane University in his senior year in high school, fouled away. But the Dodgers talked him into signing and joining the club, and he made the usual spots: Ogden, Columbus, Vero Beach, Jacksonville, Vegas, and he was hitting .344 in Albuquerque when they brought him up. He has a brother, Matt, who was also an outfielder in the Dodger organization. So he has 2 on, 1 out, 6-1 Dodgers. And in the dirt, 2-1. At Albuquerque, he had 2 home runs, 14 runs batted in. Dodgers consider him a quality hitter. When he was in high school, he mostly played shortstop, but he's an outfielder now. Check swing, they look, no swing. 2-1 to count. He runs very well. Say in the 60-yard dash, he's been clocked 6'4" to 6'6". And a high foul off third, and that's going to go back into the crowd. 2-2 the count to Xavier Paul, making his major league debut. He was 24 the end of February, facing young Jordan Zimmerman. Zimmerman is 22. He'll be 23 the end of May. And a bouncer up the middle under the glove of Guzman. He not only turns a big league force play, they get a double play. And for Xavier Paul, he's got to be saying, well, now in Albuquerque, that's a base hit. Boy, that was quite a play. Watch Guzman smother the ball, turn, roll, backhand flip. I'm not sure if Anderson. Dodgers lead 6-1. A magnificent double play started by Cristian Guzman. That's worth another look. Chopper up the middle. Watch Guzman. The back flip is something. Look at that. And then you can see on the videotape that Anderson Hernandez just did get his foot on the side of the bag. But look at that flip. And it manned right there. That's like a basketball play. I mean, he just knew he was there and he hung it out for him. Great double play. And Xavier Paul goes back to the dugout saying, oh, great. So that's what the major leagues is all about. Sure is. Well, Anderson Hernandez will lead it off. Then we'll have a hitter for Jordan Zimmerman and then Cristian Guzman. And Willie Harris, who played second base and left field last night, comes out on deck. Anderson Hernandez has walked and lined out. And Ramon Troncoso with an ERA under 1 in his 10th game. 1-1. So I would say Jordan Zimmerman made a very favorable impression on the Dodgers. After that first inning, when he gave up the 6 runs, he really settled down. He allowed 2 hits, did not allow a runner, well, one of them to second base. So he did a complete about face. Meanwhile, Troncoso goes 3-1 to Anderson Hernandez, opening up matters in the 7th inning. And a strike. Hernandez started to walk away. 3-2. Fastball hit up the middle. So Hernandez singles to center to open up matters in the 7th inning. And the batter now will be Willie Harris. For Randy Wolf, he started 5 strikeouts by getting Randy Johnson and then Big Adam Dunn. Then he got Zimmerman Then he moved right along to wrap things up for 5 when he got Adam Dunn a second time. So Willie Harris now at the plate, hitting for Jordan Zimmerman. For Randy Wolf, allowing 1 run, the home run, made 109 pitches in quest of his second win. He had 4 consecutive no decisions. 0-1 to Willie Harris. Willie can play the infield, also a spot in the outfield. He's only 5'9", out of Cairo, Georgia. That's the backstop, and down to second base goes Anderson Hernandez. Take another look in the dirt. Nice block by Martin, but that ball just kicks away for the wild pitch. The big thing when you talk about Willie Harris and you say he's from Cairo, Georgia, well, the big thing is Cairo, Georgia is the birthplace of Jackie Robinson. They have a marker designating Jackie's birthplace 4 years ago. It came about 5 years after Major League Baseball had all teams retire Robinson's number. The high school baseball field in Cairo is now Jackie Robinson Field, and the main drag in town is called Jackie Robinson Memorial. That's a strike. Cairo, Georgia. One and two. Harris, 30 years old. He'd be 31 in June. Originally signed by Baltimore. Played several years with the White Sox, Red Sox, Braves, and Nationals. One and two. Little ground ball to Orlando Hudson. That'd be the out at first. Of course, the wild pitch, otherwise that's a double play. So you have 1 out. Hernandez has now reached third, and the batter will be Guzman, the shortstop, who has really impressed in the series. Even though he threw a couple away, he has impressed as being quite a hitter, and he can certainly get to the ball, as that double play showed on the ball hit by Xavier Paul. So Guzman has popped up, grounded out, and doubled. He's 4 for 8 in the 2-game series with 3 doubles, and he's hitting .394. Slaps that one down to FURCAL. The run will score. The out at first. Guzman picks up his 7th RBI, and the Dodger lead is 6-2. And the batter will be the first baseman, Nick Johnson. Johnson has struck out twice, flied out. He is 0 for 7 with his uncle looking on, Larry Boa. And ball 1. Dodgers will have Juan Pierre batting 9th. He'll be leading off in the bottom of the 7th. 1 ball, no strikes. And nice breaking ball dropped in. 1-1 the count. So a base hit, a wild pitch, and 2 ground balls mean a run. Fastball whacked into left field. So that gives Ryan Zimmerman a chance to come up. And for Nick Johnson, he finally gets a base hit to show his uncle he can play this game. Although certainly they know he can. He's a good hitter. So it is 6-2 in favor of the Dodgers. The Nationals have hit him, however, 7 hits to 6. The big difference, the grand slam by Matt Kemp in the first inning. So here is Ryan Zimmerman, singled in the first inning. He's hit safely in 25 straight. Popped up, grounded out since, and strokes that one into center hard for a base hit. So Troncoso has given up 3 hits in the inning. Zimmerman is 2 for 4, and that brings up big Adam Dunn, and it also brings up Joe Torre. So 6 runs, 6 hits for the Dodgers, 2 runs, 8 hits for the Nationals. And Will Oman will be called in to face Adam Dunn, and we'll be right back. Look closer. Nissan delivers. And by Kaiser Permanente. We want you to live well, be well, and thrive. With the Dodgers leading the Nationals 6-2, Will Oman is asked to shut down Adam Dunn, who could certainly get Washington back in the game with one swing. And Oman has done a very good job in the past against Dunn. Adam Dunn is hitting just 143 against Oman, 2 for 14, and Will has struck him out 8 times. But whenever Dunn is at the plate, there is always the threat of a home run. He has 7 so far this year, hitting .275, and fouled away. You know, Dunn hit more home runs in his first 8 years. He had 278. More home runs than all but 3 players in history: Ralph Kiner, Albert Pujols, and Eddie Matthews. So for Oman, it's handle with care. And line to right, and that's down the line. So scoring easily is Johnson. Zimmerman is going to be waved in, and the throw is short hop by Hudson, but he has no play as Adam Dunn doubles in 2, and it's now Dodgers 6, Nationals 4. The Dunn rips one into the corner. The 2 runs charged to Troncoso, so he had a 3-run outing. And we'll see now what happens to Oman. That ball jumped. Corey Wade is down in the Dodger bullpen. Ethier played it well, but no chance to get the runners. So Dunn drives in 2. It's now 6-4 Dodgers. Oman comes out. Wade comes in, and we'll be back. Adam Dunn, who was only 2 for 14 with 8 strikeouts, but not tonight. This time Dunn beat him with the double to right. He gives the ball now to right-hander Corey Wade. Dunn standing at second, visiting with Orlando Hudson, who never met a base runner he didn't like. 6-4 Dodgers, and Elijah Dukes coming up. Checking Corey Wade. Dukes is 1 for 1 in the past against him. It was a home run, and you can bet they both remember the game and the pitch. Dukes hitting .287, 4 home runs, 18 runs batted in. So the Nationals trying to get back in the game now, tying runs at the plate. 4-1. Dodgers have beaten Washington 10 straight at Dodger Stadium. They haven't lost to them here since May the 4th, 2005. 1-0. Little roller coming back to get it is Orlando, and that'll be that. So Dukes goes 0 for 4. They leave Dunn at first while scoring 3. It is 6-4 Dodgers, and the crowd will be asked to stand and join in the singing of God.
Left fielder, number 9, Juan Pierre.
Well, she's doing it. And it reminds us to remind you, why not spend Mother's Day at Dodger Stadium? The Dodgers will honor mom before and after the game. Mothers will receive roses when they enter the stadium, and after the game, moms and their families invited on the field for a Mother's Day walk in the park. All part of the Dodgers Win Mother's Day. And for tickets, visit Dodgers.com or call 866-DODGERS. Ron Vallone, who has been around battling Juan Pierre. Vallone is out of Englewood, New Jersey, lives in Upper Saddle River. He was drafted by the Mariners #1 in 1992. Went to the University of Massachusetts. 1 ball and 1 strike. Ron, 39 years old, signed in 1992 and first came up to the big leagues with the Padres in 95. When Mike Hinckley was sent down, Vallone was called up. Vallone says his first hero was Babe Ruth, and later his favorite player, the Yankees' Ron Guidry, Louisiana Lightning. 1-2 the count. And that's going to be hit down the line. Base hit. Over to cut it off is Willingham. Holding on will be Pierre. So Juan Pierre is 2 for 3 tonight with a stolen base as he singles to left. And RAFAEL FURCAL coming up. Jordan Zimmerman made 95 pitches, and outside of a very raggedy first inning, he was marvelous from the second inning on. Remember the name Jordan Zimmerman. They are really high on him, and they should be. So here's RAFAEL, 0 for 3, turning around to hit right-handed. Dodgers 6, Nationals 4, but the Dodgers scored 6 in the first inning and have not been heard from since. They've had 2 runners get to second base in the next 5 innings. And they got Pierre picked off. Johnson gets it down to Guzman, and he's tagged out. So the veteran Vallone hangs Pierre out to dry, and 1 away. You know what? It's such a tough play, and he made it very well. Nick Johnson, you don't have a throwing lane. I mean, the runner's in your way. You have to find the shortstop, and he got it to him in time for the tag. But that is an extremely difficult play for a first baseman. 1 ball and no strikes to FURCAL. One and 0. And that's hit in the air to right field. Big gun is there. So the Dodgers have not been able to do anything since that first inning explosion. And Orlando Hudson coming up. A couple of pitchers came out of the University of Massachusetts beside Ron Vallone. Mike Flanagan of Baltimore, Jeff Reardon, who was famous with the Mets in Montreal, and Ron Vallone. Ball 1 to Orlando. For Vallone, he can tell you he was in the ballpark when Dave Righetti pitched a no-hitter. He said we were about 7 rows back of the Yankee dugout. Probably the best game I ever went to. 1-1 the count. When Vallone went to the University of Massachusetts, he went there to play football. 2-1 the count. He was a tight end. Well, he's quite an athlete. Two balls, 1 strike. Ball 3, 3-1. outfield. Coming up, Willingham smothers the ball, rolls over and makes the catch and shakes himself up as well. Gee, a fine play by Josh Willingham. We had to wait for Darrell Cousins to get out there and make the out call. Here's the dive, the backhand catch. That had to hurt. And at the end of 7, 6-4 Dodgers. Josh Willingham grounded out, walked, homered in the 6th inning, and made that fine diving catch of the line drive hit by Orlando Hudson. Getting ready, Corey Wade. Wolf made 109 pitches. Troncoso made 16 and was charged with 3 hits and 3 runs. Ullman came in to face Dunn, and Dunn doubled in 2. And then Wade came in, made a couple of pitches, took care of Elijah Dukes. So now here we go in the 8th. Willingham, Flores, and Hernandez. Josh, who majored in biology in the University of North Alabama. Juan Pierre went to South Alabama. That's a strike. Willingham 2 home runs, 4 runs batted in. Last night Austin Kearns played right and Dunn played left. Tonight Dunn plays right and Willingham plays. Austin Kearns hitting only .250, but we might see him before it's over. 1-1 to count. Strike. 1-2. Corey Wade out of Utah. He'll be 26 the end of the month. Check swing foul. Barry Zito and Chad Billingsley. Saturday afternoon, Eric Stoltz and Jonathan Sanchez. Sunday afternoon, the Giants with their best Cy Young winner last year, Tim Lincecum, against Jeff Weaver. And hit down the line, foul. Still 1-2. Six runs, 7 hits for the Dodgers. 4 runs, 9 hits for Washington. 2-2 the count. Dodgers 6 in the first inning. Nationals got 1 in the 6th and 3 in the 7th. Actually had the tying run at the plate. Still 2-2. Manny Acta leaning on the railing, watching Willingham. Manny did a nice thing now that he's the manager of the Nationals. He bought a riding lawnmower to tend to the unkempt baseball fields where he played when he was growing up in the Dominican. That's fouled away. And Manny wants to spend some time building first-class fields on government-owned land in San Pedro de Macorís. There are so many players who come from his town and they play on such scrubby fields. Can't imagine what they would do on good fields. That's ball 3. Manny also, among other things, worked as a studio analyst for the American League Championship Series and the World Series in Spanish. Fastball whacked to left. Pierre going back. It's over his head, bouncing against the fence, and Willingham into second base. So he's had a walk, a home run, now a double, and he made that diving catch on the ball hit by Hudson. And Willingham hit that thing hard. You knew it was over Pierre's head immediately.
Catcher, Jesus Flores.
That was a satisfying at bat for Josh Willingham. It turned out to be a 10-pitch at bat, and he hits the 10th pitch for a double. 3 doubles and a home run for Washington tonight to account for their 4 runs. And here is Jesus Flores. Ball 1. Flores singled, little pop fly inside the right field foul line, single to center hard, and fly to left. Jesus batting .305. The Willingham at second, nobody out. 8th inning, 6-4 Dodgers. And that's ball 2. So Flores from Venezuela battling Wade. 2-0 the count. And ball 3. So Washington had the tying run at the plate in the 7th inning. And should Flores get aboard, they'd have the tying run on base. 3-0. And there it is, ball 4. So a double and a walk, nobody out. Anderson Hernandez will be coming up. And we're watching the Dodger dugout. Rick Honeycutt carrying a message from Joe Torre. You have a switch hitter on deck, Anderson Hernandez, who has walked, lined out to first, and single, scored a run. So Hernandez listening to Manny Acta. Meanwhile, one conversation out at the mound is broken up. So with runners at first and second, nobody out. Anderson Hernandez. And we mentioned sooner or later we thought we would see Austin Kearns. And Kearns now is on deck. He would be batting for Ron Vallone. So there's Austin. 6-4 Dodgers. And let's face it, 13-0 on the line. They're looking bunt. Instead, a strike. Both Blake and Loney coming up to the plate. Anderson checking with Pat Listosh at third. Old friend Marquise Grissom coaching at first. 0-1. Slow breaking ball strike. Wow. 0-2. Looking up, Hernandez had not bunted this year. Well, let's put it this way, he did not bunt successfully. Willingham at second, Flores at first, nobody out in the eighth. 6-4 Dodgers. And another breaking ball hit down the left field line. Pierre in foul ground, can't make it. Well, you run out of real estate in a hurry down there, and 1 minute you have your eyes on the ball, and the next thing you're up against the fence. 0-2 the count. Nationals try to shake themselves. Nationals have won only 7 games so far, and they're heading for Arizona. Manny will not be managing apparently against Bob Melvin. The word out of Arizona, and the D-backs lost again today. They say that Bob Melvin will be replaced tomorrow. Little ground ball, slow, fair ball, picked up by Blake, throws too late. That's as good as the bunt. Swinging bunt, they'd call it in the old days, and the bases are loaded with nobody out. So Austin Kearns will be coming up with the bases jammed. Willingham at third, Flores at second, Hernandez at first, and now Kearns will be batting for Vallone. 1 minute Blake was looking bunt, then with 2 strikes he went back to normal depth and he got burned. So here's Kearns. Austin, 3 home runs, 13 runs batted in, severely injured, beamed here one night. Ball 1. He was hit by Giovanni Carrara. He also had his arm broken by Ryan Vogelsong, who was with Pittsburgh at the time. So he's paid the price. Kearns had 3 years in a row. He hits 16 home runs. 1-1. 06, 07, 08. He had 7 home runs last year. Willingham at third, Flores at second, Hernandez at first. Nobody out. Dodgers clinging to a 6-4 lead. 1-1. And a drive to center. Kent on the run. It's over his head. It's going to go to the fence. In comes Willingham. Here comes Flores. The throw to the plate. High. Great save by Russell Martin. Not only have the Nationals tied it up, they have runners at second and third, and still nobody out. So Austin Kearns, sooner or later, figured he'd get into the game, and he doubles over Matt Kemp's head to drive in 2. So Wade now gives up 2 runs, 3 hits and a walk. And with first base open and the game tied, the hot hand is at the plate. And Martin just made a spectacular catch of that throw coming in from Orlando. The Willingham started it with a double, and they're far from finished. That's ball 1. CRISTIAN GUZMAN is hitting .389. He has a home run, 7 RBIs, 1 for 4 tonight, a double. He had 2 doubles and a single last night. So it would appear they have the right man up there with first base open, and the left hand hitting Nick Johnson on deck. Breaking ball in there. So Wade goes to the curve, balances the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Guzman is the 5th man to come to the plate. 1-1. Another breaking ball, 1-2. Wade trying to fight his way out of the inning. Willingham doubled and Flores walked. Hernandez got that little dribble single to third. Kearns doubles in 2 to tie it up. 1-2. Fastball almost nicked him. So after a couple of breaking balls, Wade runs the count to 2-2. Guzman, an all-star. He's made 2 all-star clubs. Two and two to Christian. And fouled away. So the Dodgers scored 6 in the first inning and then have been shut down completely. Jordan Zimmerman did a fine job after the first inning. Then Vallone. And suddenly the game is tied. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Breaking ball, chopper, foul. Foul ball. We're in the 8th inning. 6-6. The Nationals have 6 runs on 12 hits. 5 hits against Randy Wolf, who now has his 5th consecutive no decision. Manny's club has gotten back to tie it up. 2-2. 0-3. Fastball missed inside. On deck, a left-hand hitter, Nick Johnson. And Johnson 1 for 4 tonight. Three and two. Breaking ball got him, and that'll do it. The Christian Guzman way out in front. Off-speed breaking ball. He strikes out. Now Nick Johnson is coming up, and Joe Torre's going to make a move. A little slow spinner, and he was right over it. Down in the bullpen, and what a spot. Last night, Brent Leach, just up from Chattanooga, was brought in to make his major league debut, and he pitched the 9th inning. Tonight, Brent Leach is coming in a meaningful moment in a 6-6 tie, and we'll be back. Down in the corner, Clayton Kershaw and James McDonald, 2 kids enjoying the moment. Not to say Leach really didn't either. But last night, Brent was using the rosin bag so many times. There's an expression in baseball, you talk about a good fastball and you say powder river. Well, he made a pitch last night and he had so much rosin on his hand, it was a powder river pitch. And one of the umpires, the plate umpire, Darrell Cousins, said, "Hey, son, you can't keep throwing with substance on your hand." Well, we'll watch him. There he goes again. I mean, he would get a little more if he were making a pizza. So he comes up with runners at second and third. Kearns and Hernandez at third. 1 out, first base open, and Nick Johnson the batter. So the Dodgers have blown a 6-0 lead. It's 6-6. And Leach drops a breaking ball in there. 0-1. Johnson against Randy Wolf struck out twice, flied to left. Then in the 7th inning against Troncoso, he singled. Chattanooga is a long way from Los Angeles and the big leagues. Brent Leach is from Mississippi. 26 years old. He'll be 27 in November. Fastball whacked down the left field line. It is a fair ball. 2 runs will score. Johnson into second base, and the Nationals lead 8-6. And Chattanooga is still a long way from Los Angeles, especially in the 9th inning. The Leach gives up the hit, and the runs are charged to Corey Wade. So the Dodger had Wolf charged with 1. Look how close that was as it hit the chalk. Troncoso was charged with 3. Wade charged with 4. And Leach isn't out of the inning yet. Ryan Zimmerman trying to pick up Nick Johnson. The Johnson finishing up the 2-game series with a single and a double, and they will walk Ryan Zimmerman and take their chances against Adam Dunn. Brent Leach, fastball, curve, changeup. Dodgers signed him back in 2005. He went to school at Delta State in Mississippi. He had Tommy John surgery in 2003. All right, first and second, 1 out, and Adam Dunn checking in. He is the 8th man to come to the plate. Boy, there's that rosin bag. He's covered up to the wrist with rosin. Look at that. Dunn struck out twice, flied to left, and double to right. His double to right against left-hander Will Oman. Fastball for a strike. Adam Dunn last year averaged a home run a little less than every 13 at bats. Last year, an off year, he only hit 32. This time he bangs it into right field. Johnson will come to the plate and score, and the Nationals now lead the Dodgers 9-6. And the Dodger bullpen that had been magnificent breaks down tonight. And Joe going back out. So Leach gives up 2 hits and an intentional walk. He is charged with 1 run, but there are 2 men on base. Down in the Dodger bullpen, Guillermo Mota has been loosening up, and we'll be back. on the Dodgers, and they lead 9-6. And remember, the Dodgers led 6-0 at the end of the first inning. So the batter now will be Elijah Dukes. He is 0 for 4 tonight, 0 for 3 last night, 0 for 7 in the 2 games, and he is the 9th man to come to the plate as he checks in against Mota. So 2 on, 1 out. Ground ball to the hole. It is going to find left field. So here comes Zimmerman to score. It is a 6-run inning, and the Dodgers get a taste of their own medicine. So Elijah Dukes rolls one into left. Adam Dunn goes to second. Ryan Zimmerman brings home the run, and it is 10-6 Nationals. The hit is charged to Mota, and the run is charged to Leach. And remember, 1 out. They're not through yet. Ty Willingham, who started the inning with the double, is now the 10th man to come to the plate. So the Dodgers keep going to the bullpen. They have to, and sooner or later the bullpen lets down. Fly ball to Kemp. The runners are not going to go anywhere. That's the 2nd out. And the batter will be Jesus Flores. When the Dodgers come up in the bottom of the 8th inning, they will have Ethier, Loney, and Martin. Ten runs, 15 hits for the Nationals, 6 runs, 7 hits for the Dodgers. Most hits in a game, 15 for Washington. They did that a few days ago against Houston. And a strike to Jesus Flores. Most runs in a game. They have 10 tonight. They had 11 against the champion Phillies. So Maniacta has something to talk about perhaps tonight. That's a high foul off third. Coming over to take a look, and that's all Casey Blake. No balls, 2 strikes. Paid attendance tonight, 37,074. So the Dodgers get 6, and then no more offense. So the Nationals score 1 in the 6th, 3 in the 7th, 6 in the 8th. Come from behind and lead 10-6. Flores singled in the 2nd, singled in the 4th. Fly to left, walk, scored a run. The Jesus 2 for 3. Dodgers use Randy Wolf, and then Troncoso, Ullman, Wade, Leach, and Mota. 1 and 2. And that will be it. However, it is 11 batters, 6 score, and at the end of 7.5, 10-6 Nationals. in the 8th inning, a big contributor to the 6-run inning, and the Nationals lead the Dodgers 10-6. Bottom of the 8th inning, the Dodgers, desperate for a left-hander, not having Hong Chi Kuo, had to bring in the young left-hander from AA, and tonight was a totally different story. And now the Dodgers will look at a veteran left-hander that they had last year, and that would be Joe Beimel. So Beimel coming in, he will be facing Andre Ethier, James Loney, and then Russell Martin. So Joe from St. Mary's in Pennsylvania went to Duquesne and going to work. Beimel starts him a strike. Ethier single to center. Fly ball center to left center. Lined out to third and grounded out. 1 for 3. He has scored a run. Another slow breaking ball. 0-2. 70 miles an hour. So Beimel, a veteran of the wars, in direct contrast to young Brent Leach. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Joe, 32 years old, 6'3", 215. Came up with Pittsburgh, then played with Tampa Bay, 2.5 years with the Dodgers. Fastball, 2-2. Joe changed his pitching motion in the minor leagues at AAA, and it really changed his baseball life completely. Fouled away. At one stage, Joe Beimel pitched in 104 games without allowing a home run. Beimel pitched well, then went on the DL. He has not allowed a home run yet this year. 2-2. Got the corner. Andre fooled on that fastball that nicked the outside corner, and down he goes. 1 away.
First baseman, number 7.
Right there. Ran right across the corner, even though it was caught on the outside. It got the plate. So 1 away, and James Loney, single to center, grounded to first, flied to left. Beimel is 6'3", 215, working on 7 years in the big leagues. And a strike. Another thing, and the Dodgers know full well, Beimel has a very good throw to first base. He's picked off 19 in his career. 1-1. He's also a very good fielder. He's an extra man on the infield. 1 ball, 1 strike. 10-6 Nationals. Bottom of the 8th. Slow curveball, but that one missed. That was 71 miles an hour. So Joe got Ethier with a fastball on the outside corner. He's 2-1 to Loney. Washington had so many problems, no closer, so they're trying Beimel out in that role. Fastball popped in the air, foul. Flores coming over, no play. 2-2 the count. So it's been Zimmerman, Vallone, and Beimel, and the Dodgers, Wolf, Troncoso, Ullman, Wade, Leach, Mota. Remember earlier we were talking about triskaidekaphobia, the fear of number 13. So tonight you wonder, will the Dodger long successful trips stop at 13. 3-2 to James Loney. On deck, Russell Martin, 1 out. Dodgers have had 2 men get to second base since the first inning. And that's popped up and up and up. Nick Johnson making the call. So Loney fouls out to his opposite number. 2 out, and the batter will be Russell Martin. Don't forget, visit the official online shop of the Dodgers at Dodgers.com. You can browse the largest selection of authentic team gear, including clubhouse caps and t-shirts, jerseys, collectibles, and more. So get your team gear straight from the source. Shop Dodgers.com today. 2 out, 8th inning, 10-6 Nationals, and the Giants here tomorrow night. Chad Billingsley and Barry Zito. Big ground ball off the glove of Ryan Zimmerman, carrying out into left field. That thing was really hit, which is why they call that position the hot corner, and that really was too hot to handle. Oh, there'll be a base hit for Martin. Boy, that thing exploded. And the batter will be Matt Kemp. Hit number 1 off Beimel. Zimmerman checking and pointing to Anderson Hernandez, his second baseman, if he gets a ground ball. And the batter is Matt Kemp. Grand slam home run in the first inning. Robbed of a hit by Zimmerman and struck out. And ball 1. In looking at Beimel's work against the Dodgers, Kemp has never faced him. Matt hitting .276. Fouled away, 1-1. So Joe Beimel, a former Dodger, trying to play a major part in wrecking the Dodger train at 13. 1 ball and 1 strike to Matt Kemp. In the dirt. And we told you that Beimel has a good move to first base. Johnson holding the bag on Martin. And on deck, Casey Blake. Dodgers down by 4 with 2 out in the 8th inning. Two and 1. Two and 2. Beimel throwing a straight pitch. It's hard to call it a fastball because it's only 81 miles an hour, but that's what it is. Joe showing his tattoo. 2 and 2. Foul ball off the protective railing. Dodgers led 6-0, all smiles and laughing when Kemp hit the grand slam. There are no smiles now. 10 runs, 15 hits for the Nationals, 6 runs, 8 hits for the Dodgers. Only 4 hits since the first inning, and no more runs. 2 and 2. That squirted foul, though Matt is still there. 2 and 2. When Washington comes up in the 9th inning, it'll be the bottom of the lineup, Anderson Hernandez, but then Austin Kearns, who had a key double. Remember, he stayed in the game. And then Guzman. All you have to do is look at the Dodgers in the dugout, and you know they're behind. Long night for Rafael, 0 for 4, leading off. 2-2. Just to let Martin know he's got to move over there. That's not his best move. That's your commercial move. He's trying to sell you on that, but Martin, of course, caught him for 2.5 years. 2-2 to Matt Kemp. Pull foul behind Boa, and it's still 2-2. Beimel with an earned run average of 1, working on Kemp, hitting .276. Joe has walked 1 and struck out 4, but he's only worked 9 innings, having been on the DL. All right, 2-2. And ground ball to the hole, backhanded by Guzman. He's going to throw late. Yep. He had trouble getting the ball out of his glove, knew he didn't have a play at first, and got it to Hernandez too late. Really didn't have a play. Had trouble re-gripping it. By that time the play was over. It'll go as an infield single, so the Dodgers finally get a runner to second base. They had 1 in the 6th inning and 1 in the 4th, and that's it since the 1st inning. And now 2 on, 2 out, and the batter is Casey Blake. They got a triple, but it was just a fly ball that landed between Dunn and Dukes. Grounded out and then single to left in the 6th inning. And a strike. So Beimel gives up 2 hits, has 2 out. Casey hitting .239. Blake had 1 appearance against Beimel, had a scoring fly ball to drive in a run. 0-1. Two on, 2 out. 10-6 Nationals. 1 ball and 1 strike. Moving around now in the Washington bullpen. They've had so many problems. They've had several games blown in the 9th inning. Kip Wells is up now in the Washington pen, right-hander. 1-1. And a strike. 1-2. Mark Loretta is out on deck. He would bat for Mota. In the Dodger bullpen, James McDonald. So Loretta waits. 1-2 the count to Blake. Martin and Kemp out on the lines. McDonald heating up. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 2-2. And pop foul, out of play. So a 6-0 lead began to unravel when the Nationals had a home run by Willingham in the 6th inning. Then they scored 3 in the 7th and then 6 in the 8th to lead 10-6. Dodgers now trying to get off the floor. 2 on, 2 out, though the deuces are very wild. 2-2. And fouled away. Casey hanging tough. 6 pitches so far. Beimel, meanwhile, got the first 2 outs, now laboring, and Jesus Flores going out there to talk to him. Beimel has made 27 pitches in getting the 2 outs and the 2 hits. Acta and Riggleman, along with Randy St. Clair, sweating it out. But again, they've had several games already this year. They're 7-18, and people say they could easily have 12 wins and 13 losses. 2-2. Foul back. So Blake hanging in there after 7 pitches. Martin at second, Kemp at first. 2 out. Dodgers with a 7-game winning streak. They've won 8 out of 9, 19 out of 24, 13 in a row at home, and it's all on the chopping block now. 2-2 time. We're in the bottom of the 8th. Deuces have been wild for quite a while. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, 2 on. Fastball, a hopper, fair ball down the line. Martin will score. Willingham gets it back in, and the Dodgers have runners at second and third, and the National League is 10-7. So a great at bat for Casey Blake. Now let's see about Loretta. And Mark will be coming up after talking to Russell Martin. So Blake rips one inside third and down the line, and Martin scores easily. So Beimel has 2 out, and then Martin singles, then Kemp singles, then Blake doubles. And here is Loretta checking in to bat for Mota. Mark Loretta, very successful, as you probably know, as a pinch hitter. He is 7 for 12. First base open. And a strike. 8-pitch at bat to Casey Blake, and Blake the winner. Mark Loretta hitting overall .375. 10-7 Nationals. Dodgers at second and third with 2 out. 1-1. Beimel asked to get a save. Manny Acta doesn't look too comfortable right now. 1 ball and 1 strike. All this with 2 out. And fouled away. 1-2. When Joe Beimel, working on Mark Loretta, was with the Dodgers, he was 11-4 with 38 holes over a 3-year period. 1-2 to Loretta. 2-2. Trying to get that outside corner like you got with Ethier. And we have a deuces wild spot again. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, and runners at second and third. Nationals lead by 3. This will be the 34th pitch from Beimel. Fouled away. Remember all the foul balls that Washington had against Randy Wolf? At least 27 of them. So Blake fouled off a bunch. Now you have Kemp at third, Blake at second, and Loretta trying to stay alive at the plate with Juan Pierre on deck. 2-2. And ball 3. Kip Wells, right-hander in the pen. Left hand hitting Juan Pierre on deck. Crowd on its feet. 3-2 to Mark Loretta. And ball 4 to load him up. Beimel thought he might have had strike 3, but the pitch was up. It was there. He thought sure he had it, but Angel Campos said no. So the bases are loaded. Randy St. Clair going out to the mound to talk to Joe. You know, when you look back on Beimel's career, it's rather remarkable. He had 70-plus appearances 2 years in a row without blowing a save. In fact, the last time Joe Beimel blew a save, he was pitching for Pittsburgh, and it was against Milwaukee in 2003. Though he came into this year with 239 games. He's been in 9 games this year. That makes it 248 since the blown save. That's the longest streak since, well over 50 years ago. So now here is Pierre, hit back to the box, single to right, single to left. Pierre is 0 for 4 in the past against Beimel. So Loretta, Blake, and Kemp are out there as the tying run. And a strike to Pierre. 10 runs, 15 hits for the Nationals, 7 runs, 10 hits for the Dodgers. All this with 2 out. Ethier and Loney made out, and then the Dodgers started a rally. Breaking ball misses, 1-1. Martin singled. Hot ground ball that exploded off Ryan Zimmerman's glove and went out into left field. Kemp rolled one to the hole at short for an infield single. Blake then doubled to drive in 1. Loretta came off the bench to walk, and so the bases are loaded. 2 out. And a 1-1 count to Pierre. Curveball hit in the air, foul, down the line and back into the stands. A trio of Nats over to look. No play. So Zimmerman had company with CRISTIAN GUZMAN and Josh Willingham. For Beimel, this will be his 40th pitch in the inning. And remember, he had the first 2 out. It's the 5th man he has faced trying to get that elusive 3rd out. 1-2 to Pierre. Outfield swung to left. Ground ball fielded by Johnson. He'll underhand to Beimel in time. So Pierre grounding out. The Dodgers get 1. Beimel really worked in the inning. Dodgers leave 3, and at the end of 8, 10-7 Nationals. escaping that 8th inning, allowing just 1 run. Joe making 40 pitches. Meanwhile, the Dodgers have to make a change. Casey Blake, normally playing at third, will move out to left field. James McDonald comes in. This will be Casey's first career game out there, although he did play a lot of right field. Mark Loretta stays in the game at third base, and James McDonald becomes the Dodgers' 7th pitcher.
Leading off the 9th inning for the Nationals, second baseman, number 6, Anderson Hernandez.
So James McDonald ready to pitch to Anderson Hernandez, Austin Kearns, and Christian Guzman. 10-7 Nationals in the 9th. And ball 1. Hernandez walked, lined out to first, and singled twice. Second one was just a little roller up along third. He had been up there in a bunt situation, and with 2 strikes, he swung, and it was just like a successful bunt single. 1-1. One and 2. Hernandez checking with Pat Listash. Just kind of slaps it away. Interesting that Anderson has 12 walks in 17 games. He only had 12 walks in his career, which was 63 games. One and 2. Ground ball to the hole. It's going to find its way through. So Hernandez comes up with his 3rd hit along with a walk. And the batter will be Austin Kearns. If you're wondering about Casey Blake in the outfield, in 2007, Casey started for Cleveland as the club's first baseman and reserve outfielder, then took over at third in April of 07. Started third, played first, and played a couple of games in right field, so that was his exposure, and he's out there now. Austin Kearns came off the bench to double in 2 back in that 8th inning when the Nationals returned the favor. The Dodgers had 6 in the 1st inning, and the Nationals scored 6 in the 8th. So Kearns, certainly a high regarded player, perhaps has not done as well as a lot of people thought, but of course he had some serious injuries. He was a 1st round pick by the Reds. Kearns is a big man, not as big as Adam Dunn, who is 6'6", but Austin 6'3", 245. Out of Lexington, Kentucky. In fact, he was Kentucky's Mr. Baseball. That's a strike. 0-1. His first year, which was 2002, he finished 3rd in Rookie of the Year voting. Jason Jennings of the Rockies won. Brad Wilkerson finished 2nd, and Austin was 3rd. He flinches, takes a strike. 0-2. McDonald has started 4, and now he has relieved 3 times. And down goes Austin Kearns. So McDonald gives up a hit, strikes out 1, and the batter Christian Guzman. trying to time that slow breaking ball, and he came up empty. McDonald facing Guzman, who is 1 for 5. Popped up, grounded out twice, doubled, and struck out in that 8th inning. Way out in front, 0-1. He had to be guessing fastball. No balls and 1 strike. Dodgers have used Wolf, Troncoso, Ullman, Wade, Leach, Mota, and McDonald. And another strike. Last night the Dodgers used McDonald, Mota, and Leach. And the night before they used Troncoso and Ullman. 0-2. High fastball, a throw. No good. That's the old story. Knock the hitter down, give the catcher some throwing room. Hernandez digging up some dirt with the buckle of his pants, and he almost threw a shoe. 1-2 the count. Off the plate. In looking at Guzman's numbers, he's hitting over 500 as a right-hand batter and hitting .358 left. Two and two. Ball 3. Runner going, ground ball perfectly hit to the hole, and so Hernandez goes to third. With a left-hand hitter at the plate, FURCAL with the runner going broke the cover, and Guzman slapped it behind Rafael into left field. So Guzman comes up with his second hit. Nice bit of hitting. First and third, 1 out. And Nick Johnson. Now Johnson against Wolf struck out twice and flied out, but against right-hand pitching he has a single and a double. (10-7) Nationals looking for more. Hernandez at third, Guzman at first, and a strike. Nick checking with Pat Listosh, the third base coach. 0-1. And a ground ball off the glove of Loney, and it's a fair ball. Hernandez will score, and as the Dodgers chase it, Guzman goes to third. So Loney diving, trying to backhand the ball, couldn't control it. And we'll wait for the scoring, but the Nationals now, they will call it a base hit. 11 runs on 18 hits for the Nationals. So in the inning, 3 hits allowed by McDonald and a run. So for Loney, so near and yet so far, diving at that ball. And here is Ryan Zimmerman with runners at first and third, still only 1 out. The out was Kearns, who struck out. Singles by Hernandez, Guzman, now Johnson. Check swing foul. Zimmerman singled first time up to extend his hitting streak to 25. Then he popped up, lost a hit on a fine play by Casey Blake, singled in the 7th, and they walked him intentionally in the 8th. So he is 2 for 4, scored a couple, and has a chance to knock another one in. CRISTIAN Guzman at third, Johnson at first. Good fastball, 0-2. Remember, Washington, the day before they came here, played that 11-inning game with Houston. That was a 10-10 tie. And now Actis sees his club score 11 tonight. 0-2. Off speed, ball one. Not much of a break to that. 1-2 to Ryan Zimmerman. Two and two. High fastball. McDonald hits 93 on the gun. One out, first and third. 2-2 the count. Ball three. Hitting behind Zimmerman was Joe Beimel's spot, so they'd have to go to the bench, and Ronnie Belliard is out on deck. 3-2. Johnson goes, and it's foul back. Still 3-2. Ryan Zimmerman, in looking at his numbers, has walked 10 and struck out 22 coming into the game. Zimmerman has grounded into 6 double plays. That would be tops on the Washington club. 3-2. Johnson goes, and down goes Zimmerman. The throw, here comes the runner to the plate. The throw is in time to get him. So the Nationals strike out and run their way out of the inning, but still manage to score 1. And we are heading for the bottom of the 9th. It is 11-7 Nationals. (11-7) in the bottom of the 9th inning, and the veteran right-hander Kip Wells coming out of the bullpen to try and close it up. Kip's been around. He's 32 years old, out of Houston, Texas. He was a first-round pick by the Chicago White Sox 11 years ago. He went to school at Baylor University. He came up to the White Sox 10 years ago, and he's been with the White Sox and the Pirates and the Rangers and the Cardinals and the Rockies and the Royals and the Nationals.
Leading up the bottom of the 9th for the Dodgers, shortstop number 50, RAFAEL FURCAL.
All right, Wells trying to close it up, and the Dodgers in his way for Call, Hudson, and Ethier. Wells has an earned run average of 2. He's been in 7 games. He has struggled with his control. He has walked 7 and struck out only 4. That's a strike. The Nationals have 3 saves. Joel Hanrahan 2. Julian Chavarez 1. They have not had a closer. They were hoping Beimel, but Joe used up all his bullets in the 8th inning. 1-1 to count to FURCAL, who was 0 for 4. Struck out twice, fly to center, fly to right. For Russell Martin, a long night, catching 7 different pitches. Made a great tag to get the last out. Fouled away. 1-2. Orlando Hudson on deck. And then Andre Ethier. Juan Pierre and Matt Kemp sitting back, in a sense, wondering what hit them. It was 6-0 Dodgers in the first inning. One and two. And in the dirt. Kip is 6'3", 205-pounder. At one time, he used to write a column for MLB.com, not only about the game, but the personal side of being a baseball player. He has a sister who's a Christian missionary in Africa. And got him. Great pitch. When was the last time you saw Rafael FURCAL strike out 3 times in a 9-inning game? So 1 out, and the batter Orlando Hudson. It's up there, and then it is right there. Orlando Hudson walked and scored a run in the first inning. Grounded out, struck out, and lined out. His line drive was that diving catch by Josh Willingham in the 7th inning. Fastball for a strike. Oh, and 1 to count. Orlando trying to get something started. Kip Wells is a chip off the old block. He pitched at Baylor, and his dad pitched for the University of Texas, and his dad pretty much taught him the mechanics and the mentality of the game, and taught him well. 1-1. Ball 2, 2-1. Kip's not a bad hitter, but of course they don't need his bat here in the 9th inning. And that's going to be stroked into the gap in left center. Over to cut it off is Elijah Dukes, and he has a great arm, and Hudson is not going to gamble. So a 1-out single to center will bring up Andre Ethier. Ethier singled in that riotous first inning, then lined out on a stab of the line drive by Ryan Zimmerman, grounded out and struck out. So Andre is 1 for 4 as he checks in. On deck, James Loney. 1 out. And a strike. 0-1. To Andre Ethier. Fastball. 1-1. Wells, basically fastball, curve change, and a slider. His cut fastball, pretty good pitch that you might look for if you're a left-hand hitter. One ball and 1 strike to Andre Ethier. Fastball hit out in front of the plate. That's the 2nd out. Going 1-3. On the play, Hudson advances to second, and the batter will be James Loney. So Kip Wells trying to close it up. Loney with his foot in the door. James singled to center to drive in a run. He was on base when Matt Kemp hit the grand slam. James grounded out in the third, fly to left in the fifth, fouled out in the eighth. 1 for 4. On deck, Russell Martin. So Hudson at second, 2 out in the ninth. 11-7 Nationals. Nationals 11 runs, 18 hits when it appeared they were buried 6-0 in the first inning. Loney hitting .275. Fastball lined into right field, and Larry Ball will stop Hudson. There's no sense having an out with 2 out in the ninth, trailing by 4. So Loney, a line drive single. Hudson stops at third. Loney winds up 2 for 5, and Russell Martin will be coming up. Martin has walked and grounded out, walked, and then had an infield single. Remember that shot that went off Ryan Zimmerman's glove? It was so hard hit. Martin has hit Wells in the past. He is 3 for 7 against him. And the Nationals, having blown at least 3 in the ninth inning in the early going, have to be worrying about this one. And a little fly ball. The outfield was deep. A diving try. The ball will land. Scoring is Hudson. That makes it 11-8 Nationals. And the Dodgers, with 2 out, have runners at first and third. And Matt Kemp will be coming up. So the old story in this kind of a game, you don't want a ball hit over your head. You don't want to give up the extra base hit, where they might catch that kind of a fly ball in the early goings, not in the ninth inning. So Martin gets a little fly ball single, a run batted in. Hudson brings it home. 11-8. And now wait a minute, before Kemp comes up, there'll be a meeting at the mound. Randy St. Clair out there. Down in the bullpen, Joel Hanrahan, who at one time was in the Dodger organization. Hanrahan has 2 saves, but all of a sudden he lost his touch, and he was letting games get away. But now he's down there warming up behind Wells. Hanrahan was a Dodgers second-round pick back in 2000. So Wells has 2 out, ninth inning. But remember what happened to Beimel. He had 2 out and nobody on. And the Dodgers had 3 hits and a walk. Now here they are with 2 out. They have 1 in and runners at first and third. Kemp with a grand slam in the first inning. A strike. Matt, besides the slam, robbed of a hit by Zimmerman, struck out, single to the hole at short with Guzman, who made a good backhand stop but couldn't get it to second base for the force. 0-1 to Matt Kemp. Fastball, little roller, cutting across Zimmerman, tough play, and he throws it away. Loney scores. They will stop Martin at third, and the Dodgers' luck really is still in the game. The fly ball by Martin, that little ground ball wide of third, and it's 11-9 Nationals, and Casey Blake coming up. Little ground ball, desperate play by Ryan Zimmerman, and the off-balance throw isn't in the neighborhood. It'll be a base hit for Kemp. Martin going to third. Loney scored. RBI. And allowing Martin to go to third, there'll be an error charge to Zimmerman. So the Dodgers still alive. First and third, 2 out. Here's Casey Blake. So the Dodgers had 4 batters reach with 2 out in the 8th. They have had 3 batters reach with 2 out in the 9th. And it's 11-9 Nationals. 0-1. Casey got the fly ball triple. That's when Dukes looked at Dunn. Dunn looked at Dukes, and the ball dropped. Since then, he's had a single and a double. Nationals 11 runs, 18 hits. Dodgers 9 runs, 14 hits. 1-1. Nice save by Flores. Kip Wells does not have a wild pitch. One and one with Mark Loretta on deck. And a towering fly ball. Let's see. It will be Willingham. And that's it. So Blake flies to left. The Dodgers a flurry. They come up with 2 in the 9th inning, but it is not enough. The totals 11 runs, 18 hits, and 1 error for